All right, Pirate fans and surrounding areas, welcome to Wednesday podcast. So it's like Wednesday Pirate podcast. This is episode number two. This podcast is on Thursday because Coach Rasbeary is unavailable on Wednesday when we have our other RF Pirate Lady Pirate podcast. So this is the podcast where we talk soccer. And on the screen, we have the head coach here for Rockport Fulton, Coach Travis Rasbeary. Coach, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Thank you, sir. I'm doing great, and thank you for coming out, spending a few minutes here with us. And then he has two of his varsity players to the left of your screen. We have our senior Aariana Valadez. Ari, how you doing?
Good.
And then on the other side, we have junior Kandis Tidwell. Kandis, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
Thank you for coming out, girls. And we're going to go ahead and talk about your performance and recap the last two games that you had. Get your input on the two games that you got coming up. And I'll have a few more questions for you guys. But before we get started, I wanted to let you girls know here on air that this podcast that I put together for you guys, it's 30 minutes. It's your podcast. It's the soccer podcast. It's Coach Rasbeary's podcast and the Lady Pirates Soccer podcast. So feel free to come on whenever you want to come on. If you have something to say to the community, you're more than welcome to jump on during your time. If you had a great performance, get with Coach. Coach, I like to be able to talk about my performance. Coach tells me who comes on. But you guys are welcome. It's your podcast. You guys had a bake sale. If you have a raffle, feel free to come on. If you guys are in practice and you want to say talk and get on here on the Pirates Coast Sports Network. If I have some time and I'm available, definitely we can jump on. We don't have to wait till Thursday. Get a message out. Anything that we can do to help this program, to help you ladies, anything that's going on that you or your teammates, your coaches, anything you guys want to get out to the community, use this platform. It's your platform. It's the soccer podcast platform. You can use it anytime. Just give me a call or have Coach send me an email and the time that you guys want to do it, and we'll get any message you want to get out to the community for any help, any raffles, anything you guys want to get out to the community. So I don't know if I had been clear with the ladies in terms, but this is your podcast. It ain't mine. I'm just a host. I created it, but this is yours. Use it any way you guys need to promote your program, your performances, and anything you want to get out to the community. So I wanted to make sure that you guys knew that. And you can do that throughout the rest of this season and even next year. Same thing with Coach. I think I've told Coach he can use this platform anytime he needs to for his soccer program. So, ladies, again, thank you for coming out. And let's kind of jump in here and quickly, you want to get both of y'all's thoughts here on the game against Beeville. It's been a battle, Ari. You know that because you battled them. I know Kandis barely came this year, but you battled with Beeville. You got some big wins. We started the season off with the big win, beating Beeville. This time they got the better of us. They get the win 4-1, I believe. Coach, am I correct on that?
Yeah, that's right.
So I'll go to Ari first. So this time around, they were able to shut our offense. I tell everybody this offense is really good with you and Kandis, Anae. Lauren Holden is coming alive. Carly. I mean, I think you guys can score against anybody, but they were able to shut us down this go around. And of course, we're not always going to have our A game. Ari, what did you see from Beeville this time defensively? They were able to shut this high power offense down.
It's not really much that they shut our offense down. It was very much that we beat ourselves. Like all their goals that they had were our mistakes. It's either we let them through or we made the wrong decision. Like we either stabbed or we just kind of like let them go. And I feel like that whole game we were mostly playing defense. One thing I can say is we had very good ball control that game. We had really good ball movement. Like I watched the film last night and we had really good technical ball movement that I've never seen us do ever. But like I said, I don't think they really shut our offense down. We just didn't play as well as we did. And I just think a lot of us, once they got to like maybe two goals, we would kind of just like shut down. We're like, oh, there's like no way of coming back, which we shouldn't think like that, but I'm pretty sure most of us were like, there's no way we're gonna come back. And every time we did get close to like scoring, it like we had I'm if we look back at the stats, if we watch over the film, and we like take tally marks, I'm pretty sure we had more shots like on goal than they did. Like we had more opportunities than they did. They just were not falling.
Yeah, and that happens sometimes for our team. And obviously we split the series. One, it would have been nice to sweep them, but we do split the series. We get one, they get one. It's kind of been like that. It was like that last year. I think it's two programs going at it. They're good, we're good, so it falls that way sometimes. Candice, I'd like to get your thoughts. Do you kind of agree with what Ari's saying, or give us your thoughts on what you saw in the game versus Beeville?
Yeah, I agree with all what she was saying. I feel like yes, we did kind of give up on ourselves. I feel like what we put in at practice, we just kind of threw that all away as soon as those 3 goals or 2 goals went in, and we just started like beating ourselves up and got too much in our head and was just forcing balls that where they shouldn't go, and it was just. But back to what she was saying, like our ball control and movement was really good. I can agree with that.
Well, that's good. I'm glad you guys are seeing the film. Coach he checks that film out. He's come out here and he said he's very data driven, right? He feels like that helps out in finding out what happened in the game to be able to fix what we didn't do, and obviously be able to give you guys that input so we don't make that or we improve in those areas that we need to. So I think that really helps out. So you guys have talked about the film, and obviously you're going back and you're breaking that down and seeing what you guys didn't do. So from here, even though we took the loss, seems like we know exactly what the issue was. So we'll fix it. Candice, I'll jump to you now. So then you go to you go to Bishop, or you play Bishop, and you get a big win. You sweep Bishop. You had a great game against Bishop both times, 4-0. You scored 4 goals. Not surprising for those that follow soccer, because you kind of do that pretty much all the time. What were you seeing? Talk about what you were able to do against Bishop, your overall performance against the Lady Badgers.
I feel like we were more calm. We were able to see the through balls. We were able to do the things that we did put in at practice. I feel like we did pretty good that game. We did what we were supposed to, and we didn't get too big of heads, and we were humble about everything. Like we weren't anything trash talking, nothing. Just a good game of soccer.
And how about your overall performance? Were you, when you were traveling out there on the bus, were you saying, "Oh yeah, I'm feeling it tonight. Tonight's going to be one of those games"? Talk about your overall performance, and because you got 4 goals. To me, that's, when I see you score one, I'm like, okay, Candice, that was I mean, you didn't have a bad, because I'm accustomed. You're going to get at least 3 plus. That's how I see it. But I know obviously that's not going to happen all the time. People are going to start keying on you. Obviously, good teams are going to figure out what Rockport's strength, what they want to do, and they're going to try to defensively come against you and make somebody else beat us, or beat us. So for you, what were you feeling? Were you feeling it before you got to the soccer field, or how did that work for you?
Well, on the bus I was actually asleep. I took a really good nap. But no, I didn't want to think too negative about anything. Like I didn't want to think like, oh, maybe they're better than what they have been, like just giving them like benefit of the doubt. But at the same time, like I didn't want to scare myself and just be like, oh, I'm just gonna shut down. Like I was just gonna play my game and do what I know what to do and just get the job done.
Yeah, I think that's how you play. That's how I've seen you a couple of times. You just go. You just play. I like your game. I really do. I think you play the game the right way. But yeah, I think you're 100% all the time. Go, 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 go. And you're very fast. I've told you that before. I think you get down that field quickly. So to me, if the defense, if they don't have an angle on you, if you get behind them, I don't know that there's going to be a lot of girls in this district that are going to be able to catch you. You're very quick, getting the ball down from wherever you get it all the way to the goal, and then you've got that powerful kick. So it's good. It was great performance against Bishop, as you get 4, and the Lady Pirates do sweep Bishop this year in district. Ari, now we go to you. You also had a great performance. You had 1 goal, 3 assists. The assists have been great. As coach sends me the stats, I'm seeing a lot of people, even names that usually are not there or is now starting to get assists. Seems like everyone's getting involved. Talk about the team performance against Beeville, and then just your performance, what you were seeing on the soccer field.
The team performance, it was great. I feel like we could have done better. Like I think we knew we could beat them, so we kind of just like went down to their level. And yeah, we got the win, but like that's still like a win doesn't matter if you know your team wasn't giving their all. And I just felt like we were just we the practice before the game, we worked on technical um how to like handle pressure, how to like just good ball movement. And once we got there, it's kind of like it went out one ear and went in through one ear, went out the other. We just kind of just did we just kind of booted the ball every single chance we got. We weren't really technical with the balls like we were against Beeville. It was like we just had like we had needed to score. And I feel like Bishop is a team like we know we can beat them. So I think that's like we should use that as a practice. Like we should use that to get better. So we that was like the chance of us to like work on like having those technical passes, having those technical through balls. Just like that's just gives us a chance to like it's another practice, but with a team. Instead of practicing against each other, it's another like practice with a different team. And I think we should have used that opportunity to get ready for TM, Cow Island playoffs, Ingleside. And I just felt like we just wanted to get like we knew we could beat them. So like after halftime, if we were up by so much, like if we were beating them by so much, the game was gonna get called. So I felt like we just all wanted to go home and we were just worried about getting the score up, but we just weren't thinking about like, oh, like maybe we could use this to get better and work on different things. Like a day, like the same day we had learned a different corner, like how to run a corner, and we could use that. Did we run it in there? Did we run it in Bishop?
Mhm.
And it's like we didn't really care to run it right. Like it's not like we did run it right, but like we also didn't. Like that was a time to work on it so we could use it for Ingleside, TM, um, Cal Allen. Like that was a time to practice.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I definitely understand what you're saying, man. That's awesome. I think you girls, obviously you when you took the L, you knew exactly, or you know exactly what the issue is. You're telling us here, this is what we know. We know we didn't do this. We know we didn't play our game. We know, this is the issue. And that's the first step in correcting it so it doesn't happen again. So that's the part that I like when you guys come out. So we talk, we break down the game, and you guys get to explain to me and to the community, right? This is what we're seeing. And it sounds like we know exactly what we did in that loss to Beeville, and then we corrected as we still got some tough games. There's still a lot of games left in district, believe it or not. 4 more, I think, road games for the Lady Pirates here. They've been on the road here consistently, going back, getting on that bus, taking that drive to whoever the next opponent is. So it's been tough, just being able to have to go back on the road and play. So I'm sure you guys can't wait to get a home game. It's coming up here in about another 2 weeks, I think, or so. So we're definitely looking forward to having you guys back and getting our fans back out here to support you ladies here at home. There's nothing like home sweet home, right? So definitely, we still got an opportunity. The girls will play their game tomorrow in Ingleside. It's going to be cold and it is going to be rainy, but there is a game still scheduled for tomorrow. The junior varsity game has been canceled. Coach talked a little bit about that, so he'll let us know what time the Lady Pirates will play tomorrow in Ingleside. Short drive. It is cold, but if you can get out there, please get out there and support our Lady Pirates. As they're going to need this game. The first one we took the win. It was a battle, and I anticipate it's going to be another battle tomorrow night in Ingleside. Ladies, I want to talk about the weather here and the games and get your thoughts on Ingleside. But before we do that, I want to talk about Lauren Holden and get your thoughts. Lauren Holden, someone that I've been seeing here. She's young. We've had her on the podcast, but she's really coming into her own. Ari and Candice, I think she had 4 goals against Bishop. I think she's playing with more confidence. Still a young player, but somebody that I think is getting better every practice from what I'm seeing, impacting every game that we're playing. Candice, I'll go to you first. Talk a little bit about your teammate, Lauren. Tell us a little bit about her as far as her preparation, what you're seeing from her, because what I'm seeing, she's getting better and she's impacting the games.
Yeah, I agree. I love Lauren as a person on and off the field. She's a really sweet girl, and I love to see how comfortable she is on the field, no matter who we play. And she's always like, she has her ears open to like something we have to tell her, like to improve this, like get it off your foot quicker, or just like look for the through ball, like just little stuff like that. Like she doesn't get into her mind and just like break down. Like she'll like listen to you, and that's what I like to see, because I'm not on the field. Like, yes, I might yell because maybe you don't hear me, but I'm never trying to like be mean in any way. And so, like with her, I'll get like close to her to make sure like she knows like what I'm talking about, and that we're kind of on the same page. But no, I love Lauren. She's a great player.
Yeah, she's impacting the game, man. I'm watching her score goals. I think she's playing with more confidence. Not somebody that I knew coming into the game this year, but definitely someone when coach sends me stats, you see her, she's making her mark. Only a sophomore, very young, but I think that's great. The year that she's having this year, I think is great. And it's going to build confidence going into next year when we lose Anaí, when we lose Ari, right? We lose these seniors. We got to still keep going. This program still got to be productive. We'll have you next year. We'll have Lauren, Carly will be back. So this, even though we're losing these seniors and it is a loss, right? We still got players. Sophia, we've had Sophia Rodriguez on, and I think she's going to be another player that we're going to hear a lot from next year. So just wanted to take some time to get you guys to talk a little bit about your teammate because I think she's getting better every game. Aria, I'll let you kind of speak on Lauren. What have you seen from your teammate?
Like Candace said, she's a very nice girl. I love her off and on the court, on the field. Sorry, thinking about basketball there. Um, but like on the field, I tend to yell at Lauren a lot, but I'm not trying to be mean. I don't even think she knows this herself. So if Lauren, you're watching, this is why I yell at you. I yell at Lauren because I've watched Lauren play from JV. I don't know if she remembers, but we played Little League together. And Lauren, I expect a lot from Lauren. Lauren is one of the girls I expect a lot from because I've known she's played since she was little. Like I remember her. And I just don't think she like understands that I'm not yelling to be rude. I'm yelling because I want her to be better. I know how much she can give us. And sometimes I feel like she's not like sometimes I feel like she's like, how do I put this? I feel like she's trying to give too much. So she's like putting so much pressure on herself. And I know how much Lauren can give. And I want her to like be able to feel like comfortable around us. And like if she makes one mistake, everybody makes mistakes. And I feel like she like doubts herself sometimes. And um, and I just don't want her to feel like that. And she I don't know how to word this. It's very hard to word. I just feel like sometimes whenever I like say stuff, she takes it like too hard. Like sometimes I learned this from basketball, volleyball, and soccer. Whenever I say stuff, it's how I say it, and I'm trying to learn that. But sometimes it's just like in the moment I tend to yell it, and I don't mean to be rude. I'm just trying to help her, and it's just like I don't know. I don't express my feelings a lot, but it's just like I want her to be better. I want her to be do great things in life. Like I know she can go to the next level. And I believe in this girl. She's an amazing player. And she's starting to like learn now. Like in the Bishop game, every time she was open, me and Anaí were on her side and I would literally remember we'd be like, shoot, shoot, shoot. And every time she would shoot, she made them. And I'm just like, you have to trust yourself. It's like she doesn't trust herself until someone has to tell her. And in the beginning of the season, girl did not look up. She never looked up, never. And that's Rasbeary always told them, you have to look up. Those next level balls are there. And now she's looking up. In like the Bishop game, whenever I was open, and she didn't see me, like I didn't get mad because she saw me, but she got too scared because like there was somebody by me. But I know myself and I know I could beat the girl, but Lauren doesn't know me. So she switched the other way and she came up to me and she was like, I'm sorry, like I could have gave you that ball. I was like, no, like you're okay, like I understand. And so like she's learning, I gotta look up, I gotta see those next level balls. But Lauren, I hope that girl goes far in life. I know she will. I think she's learned a lot this season, and I'm glad I have my last year with her.
Yeah, when they're young, it's tough. I think they look for leadership from you and I mean the seniors, obviously, the juniors. But I've seen her play when coach sends me, and she's always impacted this game. And obviously, she's young, so they're going to make mistakes. But I think she's growing. I think she's getting better every game, and that confidence comes with every game and every practice. And so I'm glad that she's able to go to you ladies. And I understand everyone's still young, right? So when you yell, yeah, you don't you're in the moment, you're in the game, right? So it's not going to come out as calm. Your adrenaline's going. So I'm sure she understands that, but she is a player coach that I think people are going to hear more of her, not just this year, but in her junior and senior year. Remember that name, Lauren Holden, because she's impacting this season, and we're definitely looking for her to continue to do that this year as Lady Pirates fight for a playoff spot, and then into her junior senior year. But I see her coming into her own, and something that I think is really going to benefit the Lady Pirates in the next 2 years. So thank you guys for talking a bit about your teammate. Let's go over now to the games that are coming up. You guys got Ingleside, and then I believe, Coach, you got Toloso Midway. So Friday, Ingleside, and then at Toloso Midway on Tuesday. Is that correct, Coach Rasbeary?
I believe so, yes.
So let's talk a little bit about Ingleside. Before we get to the Ingleside game and preview it, you guys are going to play in the cold. It's going to be cold tomorrow. Like, it's going to be cold. So I want to know, obviously you run around. So it starts off cold. You got the bus. Ooh, but then you start running, body gets warm, right? We're ready to go. Talk to us about uh playing in this cold. I mean, I'm not sure y'all like it. Maybe you do, but Ari, I'll go to you. What's it like? So let's talk about tomorrow. You're seeing the temperatures, probably gonna rain. It's gonna be, it's gonna be cold. How do you prepare yourself for the weather where it won't have an effect on your game? What do you do?
Honestly, I don't really prepare myself. I just know it's gonna be cold, and I try to put as much layers as I can on. But we played in this weather our Toast to the Coast tournament, right? That's what it's called.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, I didn't remember if it was called that. But we played in the exact same weather. It might be a little more cold tomorrow, but I I don't like the cold, but I also don't hate the cold. I feel like it makes us play like better, honestly. But one thing I do hate about it is whenever you get hit by a ball, it stings. It's the worst
So
pain
bad.
ever. It's the worst pain ever. That it's so bad. But I don't think it's gonna stop us from our ability of winning. Um, I hope it doesn't rain, but it looks like it's gonna rain. So maybe it'll snow. Maybe.
Make a snowman
Um,
mid-game.
But I don't think the weather really determines how we play. I just think if we go out there, we'll be okay. Go out there like we usually will be okay. Weather shouldn't stop us.
Awesome. Yeah, no, that's great to hear. Candice, for you, does the weather, hopefully it doesn't affect your play either, but tell us, does it bother you? Obviously tomorrow you're seeing it's going to be cold, probably a little bit of rain, but you're going to play anyway. Talk to us about playing in this type of weather.
Um, I really don't like playing in cold. I mean, like I'm so used to like if I get cold, I'm gonna put on a little thermal and that's gonna be like I'm gonna be warm. But I don't know, I just can't play in leggings. Like it's just not for me. So whenever it's like 30 degrees and I have to wear just a thermal, it is cold. And you know me, I just love to head the ball, so my head just stays stinging. I just can't get over it. But I just have to like I don't prepare. Like Ari said, I can't prepare for the cold. Like I just go out there and just try to warm myself up, get those little hand warmers, gloves, little beanies, and then I'll just play my game.
Ladies, does it get better as you run? So as you get into 20 minutes, 25 minutes, obviously you're running, you start to sweat a little bit. Does it get a little bit better? Temperatures stay the same, but for you, as you start running, get into the 15, 20-minute mark, do you guys feel a little warmer as you're running?
Yes, we do. And then so like we get too hot and we're like, maybe we should take off the thermal or like the leggings or something. And then like if someone takes it off and you're sitting there for halftime, you start to like get cold
Yeah.
again and you're like, wait, I should put it back on. So it's like mixed feelings and it sucks. Like it actually sucks. I can't wait for it to warm up.
Or like if you're out of breath and it's just like
Yes.
burning. Ugh.
Yeah. Hey, I'm with Candace. I don't like the cold weather either. I mean, like, I don't mind if I'm gonna be working inside the house, by all means, go get some hot chocolate. Let me see the rain. I love to see the rain. The snow would be great if I was indoors, but if I have to go out, drive, work in it, like this morning it was cold, it's 4 o'clock in the morning, leaving at 5, and I'm out there all day. When we get started, it's like I have hot chocolate in my hand. This isn't even working. Like, I don't start to warm up to about 10 o'clock where I start feeling and I'm all bundled up. My head, I can barely see, and it's crazy. And then with all these layers, it's hard to work to move. You can't move. I mean, it's just like it's very uncomfortable all day. So I don't like the cold weather either. That's why I live in South Texas. The good thing is, ladies, it's just 1 month of this, right? We get one really cold month, which is February, and then once March hits, which is just a couple of weeks away, if that, maybe a week and a half, then we'll start seeing the temperatures get better. So that'll be good. Let's talk a little bit about Ingleside. So tomorrow's the game. Candace, I'll go to you first. What do you guys got to do? Obviously, the first go around was good. We got the win, but they were tough. We do a podcast with them. They're getting better. They're playing with a lot of confidence, talking to their players, talking to their coach. I think it's going to be a battle tomorrow. Your thoughts on the game, and what are the key points for the Lady Pirates to get that win, sweeping Ingleside, and get the W?
Um, I feel like each part of the field has their own job to do, like defense, be able to clear it fast, like contact, overpower, because we tend to just try to kick it as hard as we can and it not go so far. So contact, overpower, no stabbing will be good in the defense. Their striker, I heard, has came back. So as long as we're able to,
Number 12.
Yeah. as long as we're able to watch out for that, I believe we'll be good. And then midfield, if we're able to, because that's what we were working on today, like defense and midfield kind of work on today. But if we just look for those through balls, the over the head kind of balls, I believe we got them.
Look, if Kandis Tidwell scores 4, I think we'll win, right, Coach? I mean, if
Yeah.
Kandis can score 4, no pressure, but if she can score 4, that'd be great. Joking aside, I think it's going to be a battle. I really do. I think they're going to come. Obviously, they're coming to get the win. We beat them the first time. They're at home, so they're going to definitely want to get the win. Hopefully, we'll go out there. The weather will not affect us, the Lady Pirates, and it'll be a good game. And you guys end up coming home with the W. But it will be a good one. It will be cold, so obviously we still invite everyone to go out, but it is going to be a little raining, and game is going to be played earlier. Coach, talk a little bit more about that when we get him here. I have some questions for him, but Ari, I'll ask you the same thing. Your thoughts on this game? How important is it to sweep Ingleside? I mean, obviously, we're still sitting right now. Today, if the season ended today, Ari, we would be in the playoffs. But there's still some tough games coming up: Ingleside and Toloso Midway, London, Santa Gertrudis, and you got Kingsville and Cal Allen. So there's still some tough games. Your thoughts on the team, and what do you feel that is the one thing that you feel if we do this tomorrow really well, we'll get the W?
Coach Rasbeary had talked to us at the end of practice and told us like what we need to work on like individually and who we need to look out for. And we know who we need to look out for. And our defense, they just need to watch those through balls. That's what they worked on today. We because that's all they do, through balls straight to their main player. And we Rasbeary also told us like her special move. Hopefully we can shut her down. Hopefully we don't stab. And then for us, we need to look up for the next level balls, but also myself and Kandis, we need to make sure we stay on sides because they do hold their defensive line. Their defensive line is very strong and it's very high. And what I've heard, because I made it to whenever they played them home, I made it to after halftime, I think, or a little bit before halftime because I was at basketball. But what I've heard is that we beat ourselves. Well, we beat them, but we beat ourselves in like beginning the first half because we were off sides a lot because their line is so strong. So we need to look out for that. And I think as long as we just play our game, go in there, play our game, we'll be okay. But we also do need to remember that if we lose this game, it puts us in a sticky situation for playoffs. And yeah, we may still be able to go, but it still puts us in a bad situation. And I just feel we can win, but I feel like everybody needs to believe that we can win, not just half the team and the other half doesn't.
Absolutely. Believing that you can win makes a big difference. Sets the mind right. Mindset going in obviously plays a big part. Did you say that did you use the word did y'all use the word stab? Like
Yes.
okay, so if you don't mind explaining to me, because I don't really what does
Stab
that mean?
stab means whenever let's say like has the ball and it's like right in front of me and I feel like I can get it and I go to reach for it and she makes the move and goes like right past me, then I stabbed. Like I went for the ball, but I didn't win it. So then they can just beat you.
Obviously, okay, thank because so I was like, if I don't ask and we bring them on again and another girl asks, I'm not gonna know what that means. So I was thinking while you were talking, if you don't know, ask so you'll know. So when you hear it, you know what they're talking about. So thank you very much. Ladies, it's been a great season. Obviously, the expectations were really, really high for this team, and we haven't really lost much. I mean, we beat Beeville 1-1. We're right in the thick of things where we want to be. This is a big game for both programs as they fight to try to get to the playoffs. We fight to get into the playoffs. So this is a huge game for Rockport Fulton. If we win this game, obviously we still got some tough competition. By no means is it over, but this is a game that if we win, it's one step closer to the playoffs. So good luck, ladies. Tomorrow, stay as warm as possible because it is going to be colder than usual. And hopefully, Candace and you will score some goals for us, and we'll get the win. But once again, thank you. And I want to remind you guys, this is your platform. So at any time during the rest of the season, if you guys have something, we don't have to wait till Thursday. Get with Coach Rasbeary. If y'all got something you want to say, let the girls know if they have a great performance and they want to come out and talk about the performance. As long as Coach Rasbeary approves them to come on, I have no problem. And if you want to get something out and you can't wait till Thursday, definitely have Coach email me. I can get out there or bring you guys on to say whatever we need to say to the community. If that's for a raffle, benefit, anything to help the program. Just remember, this is your podcast. I'm just the host. This podcast belongs to Coach Rasbeary and his Lady Pirates. Thank you very much for coming on. Good luck tomorrow. Safe travels up there and back. Give you guys the final word. I'll go to Candace first. Anything you want to add? Any shout outs?
I think I'm just gonna keep it short and sweet. Just my family overall. Just been through everything with me, with soccer, school, just everything. I'm just blessed to have them in my life and blessed to have the people by my
That
side.
is, yes, that is so nice. That is really nice. That's a good shout out to the family. Ari, I'll give you the final word. Anything you want to add? Any shout outs?
I'd like to shout out my parents. They helped me through everything. Shout out to Rasbeary too. Best coach ever sometimes.
You the dog.
I want to shout out to my team too and my friends, just everybody around me that supports me through everything. And y'all, everybody come support. Y'all come out and support us.
Bring y'all's heaters.
Yeah, bring us heaters.
Yes.
Bring us thermals.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be cold, but definitely, hopefully, we'll have you guys back again for the community. By no means is the game over there. Still got a lot of games. The girls have 4 more road games, so they got to go to Ingleside Friday, Tuesday to Toloso Midway, then they travel to London, Santa Gertrudis, and then they'll have the final 2 games, Kingsville and Cal Allen here. So they still got a couple of road games still to go. So hopefully, we can get those W's, come back and sit real pretty as we face North Carolina. But again, good luck tomorrow. We'll talk to you ladies soon.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So that was Ari, our senior, and Kandis Tidwell, a big part of the team offensively. I've said this before on the podcast. I think they're really good. Still building that chemistry, but adding Kandis this year, obviously, to what we knew we already had was huge for this team. Lauren Holden, a young a player for coach, but doing some amazing things. I think she's getting better. So we'll get coach's thoughts on Lauren here a bit, coach. But I do want to jump back over to the Beeville game and get your thoughts. You heard what the ladies said. It kind of seemed like in that loss, they knew exactly afterwards what they did wrong. Obviously, they watched some film, so they're seeing what was going on. Your thoughts on what they said, but also the performance that they gave against Beeville.
Yeah, you and I have talked before about how I'm very data driven when I'm talking about games and trying to figure out practices. And Ari kind of hit the nail on the head. We had something like a 75% like passing percentage. So like we passed the ball, 75 times or 100 times, we're going to get it to our target 75% of the time. Like that is outstanding. But when you have something like that, but then you only possess the ball 50% of the time, then it starts taking its toll. And our defense is, I don't want to say it's young because it's very senior heavy, but we have a lot of girls on that defense that have never played defense at the varsity level. You got girls like Desi, who has absolutely stepped up for us this year. Desi played midfield. You have Amaris. Amaris played midfield last year. Kimberly kind of was that utility player that played outside back and midfield. I think the only person that we have some experience back there is Mackenzie Scheibe. We've also got a true freshman back there, and we just moved one of our bubble kids to straight varsity, who's also going to be back there. And so we've got a lot of seniors back there, and it's kind of hard to get our feet out front, get our feet underneath us. With what happened to Katie, it's still, we're still trying to bounce back, and it's tough. We played really well possession wise and passing wise with Beeville, but you're talking about a team that went just as far as we did last year. Regional quarterfinalists. They lost, I think, a goalkeeper, and that's about all they lost. And so they're returning a very strong team that, I mean, when you have a little bit of inexperience back there, I mean, they're going to take advantage of it. And our defense is doing an amazing job, fighting for every single ball, but sometimes experience kind of helps a little bit. That's why we worked on, Ari kind of talked about it. We worked on a lot of defense heavy practice today because, I have absolute confidence in my defense, and I've told them before that I wouldn't trade them for anybody. And so, we worked on it today, and I think we've got all the kinks ironed out. And so, we should be firing on full cylinders against Ingleside. And we had a freshman goalkeeper in goal. So we had a couple people out of place. We had a couple people that were having to step into positions, and Beeville was able to capitalize on that.
Yeah, I know the defense. It's still a work in progress, obviously. And look, there's still a couple of games left. The girls are playing hard. They're gonna pick it up here. Hopefully, they'll pick it up here in the next couple of games. Not playing bad, but like you said, the experience of playing these teams. This is a district with some really good teams, right? They're gonna be able to take advantage of some situations where we're possibly still trying to learn. So, we split the series. We've done that before. It's a game that we wanted to win, but we're still in the hunt here. We'll get your thoughts here about the district standings here in a bit as far as where the Lady Pirates sit right now. But I do want to talk about the upcoming game right now against Ingleside. Obviously, it was a battle. We were there. Game. It was a really good game. I think Ingleside, obviously, every game they've gotten better over there with Coach Mitchell. What are you expecting from Ingleside tomorrow? You got to travel to their place. The weather, coach, is going to be a little colder than usual. You heard the girls talking here. Kandis doesn't really obviously like playing in it, but what are you expecting from them? Are you expecting anything differently from Ingleside in terms of what you might see differently than what you saw in the first go around?
Yeah, so Ingleside had a girl that she got in a little bit of a red card trouble at our tournament, and so the first time we played them, they didn't have her, and she's kind of their target. You know, even just kind of watching when we played them, we we were able to see that they were looking for that puzzle piece that they just not did not have. Um, so this time we play them, they're gonna have that target back, and so you know, the thing about playing in the cold is everybody has to play in the cold. And so, you know, we have the advantage right now because we do have the 1-0 over them right now. And so they're going to have to fight to try to take our spot, our playoff spot from us. And so, you know, we kind of have the advantage right now, but we also can't go in arrogant. You know, we already said that she only played half of the game, you know, the first time, and then Ari came in and she had that beautiful free kick from about 29, 30 yards away. And so, you know, they're going to have pieces that they're going to have a piece that they didn't have last time, and then we're going to have a piece that we didn't have last time, and now you've got a defense that's starting to get their legs underneath them. You've got all these other targets that are up top that are firing on full cylinders. I mean, you talked about Lauren Holden, who had, you know, 4 goals against Bishop. You know, so it's going to be a dogfight. It's always a dogfight. But I think what's going to end up happening is I think we're gonna kind of show that, you know, even though we're a little bit young or inexperienced on our back four, that we can hold our own. And I think that confidence is gonna carry us through for the rest of the tough away games.
Going to be a good one under some real cold conditions, but the girls are going to go playing. Like Coach said, everyone's got to play in it. So I'm sure there's some that, and look, your body warms up. The girls even said that after about 20 minutes, they want to take off. They have those, you know, hoodies or whatever they were, because it gets hot eventually. It starts out cold, it gets hot. So I think we're going to be okay. The rain might be a little bit of an issue. Not sure how much rain we're going to get, but obviously, Coach, tomorrow's game, talk a little bit about there was a change. So JV has been canceled. So what has been the change from what originally the time that they were going to play?
Yeah, we've got that cold front coming in. You know, I took the girls out. We practiced in it today, and you know, as much as Kandis says she doesn't like the cold, you know, everybody got out there and they were nice and bundled up. But about halfway through practice, everybody's shedding layers and eventually running around in a t-shirt and shorts. But we've got that cold weather coming in. It's going to be cold, nasty, and windy, kind of like it was at our tournament. And you know, Coach Lynch and I kind of been talking back and forth over the last couple of days, just trying to figure out what we wanted to do to be number one, like our player focus. Like, what do we want to do to make sure that our players are taken care of? And when you're looking at like a game with the weather conditions that we're supposed to have tomorrow, you're starting to talk about like kids, like for example, our varsity, who would get there, you know, at 5:30, and then they would sit in essentially the cold rain for 2 hours. I mean, they could sit on the bus, but you're talking about, you know, kids that are being confined in a bus, and then now you're trying to get them out and get them warmed up. And you know, Coach Lynch and I, we really care about our kids, and so you know, it's one of those things where it's just the nature of the beast. So we ended up just kind of trying to figure it out, but the best solution is just to cancel the JV game and try to move that varsity game up, so that way it's going to be like 2 or 3 degrees warmer, but at least we're not sitting out in the rain. Those girls aren't sitting out in the rain for a long period of time. So, you know, varsity will play at 6. It'll be the 6 to 7:30, so about an hour and a half of not the best weather in Texas.
But if you want to go out there and support them, definitely we invite everyone to go out. It is going to be a big game, like you heard, Coach. You know, Rockport has the advantage right now, but both teams are battling. Ingleside looking to try to, you know, position themselves better in the playoffs. Rockport doing the same thing. So this is going to be a battle with the rain. It doesn't matter if they're going to go out there. They want to beat each other. Rockport beat them the first go around. This is going to be a game from start to end. So the Lady Pirates will look to bring that W back and position themselves better, as they still got some tough games. Like I said, but the Ingleside, they'll have 3 road games still left to play. There'll be a total of 8 before they get their first home game. So they've been on the road quite a bit, and they've got 4 more games to go starting tomorrow until they get that home sweet home game against Kingsville, and they'll finish out the regular season with Cal Allen. So definitely a good luck to the Lady Pirates. safe travels up there and back as to the rain and weather. And hopefully they come back to Rockport with that W. Coach, I also want to get your thoughts on next week's game before you come back on Thursday against TM. Obviously, we got the win the first go around through penalty kicks, I believe it was. But that was a battle too. Your thoughts on that game coming up next week on Tuesday?
Yeah, the first time we played TM, that was the day we found out about Katie, and so emotions were flying. She's been the backbone of our defense, I think, since she was a freshman, and so now you're essentially having that backbone just kind of pulled away from you, and you're just kind of left sitting in limbo. And so when we played them, we were definitely in a very emotional state, and so we threw some couple girls into the fire and said, look, you're going to have to play against a good team and have at it. And TM has always been a pretty competitive game for us, and that first time we played them, it was no exception. They have a tendency to do what we call park the bus or stack the box. There's several different phrases that you use, but they tend to put as many kids in that goal box as possible. And when you try to shoot, you're trying to shoot through 9 or 10 of those kids, and it makes it pretty hard. So when we played them the first time, that's what we were having to fight for. And then we had like I said, our defense was kind of thrown asunder, and so we kind of let 2 cheap goals go through, and then we got our 2 goals, and it's just one of those things where the mistakes that we made with that defense that was having a hard time led to those penalty kicks, and I this year I've worried a lot about our penalty kicks. We've done it a couple times. We did a couple little practice ones in our scrimmage against Alice, and they weren't the prettiest. And we also did it against Victoria East, and they weren't the prettiest. And so I'm not gonna lie, I probably grew a couple of gray hairs waiting for that penalty kick shootout, and we ended up burying 4 of the 5 penalty kicks. I think we had one that got saved, and keeper got her fingertips on it, but it was still a very well hit. And then Mercedes came up big for us. I think if I remember correctly, she only let like 2 in. So she blocked 3 of the 5 shots. And you're talking about, you've had sports researchers talk about, the most difficult things to do in sports. And I think one of the top of the list is saving a penalty kick. They said that it's comparable to hitting 100-mile-an-hour fastball, because you have so much ground you have to cover, the shots moving so fast. And so, hats off to Mercedes, the fact that she was able to get her hands on those penalty kicks to keep us alive and allow us to win in that game. But when we play them on Tuesday, it's not going to be any exception. They're going to stack the box. We're going to have to find those alleyways. And now that our defense is starting to get our legs out from our legs underneath us, we're going to give TM a heck of a good game.
Absolutely. And that'll also be a road game. That's next Tuesday. And then tomorrow, it's on the road to Ingleside. So 2 big district games where Rockport has won both of them the first go around. But again, the second time to beat these teams are quite difficult, as those teams obviously make the adjustments like Rockport does. Should be a good game tomorrow and on Tuesday. Coach, I do want to jump right back over to Bishop. We got the win over Bishop, 11-0. Talk about what you saw. So many of the girls were just involved. I think what I saw here, Anai had 1 goal, Kandis 4, Aariana 1, Lauren Holden had 4, Kimberly Guzman got into the mix with 1. But it's been the assist that's really caught my eye here. A lot of assists. Anai had 4, Aariana had 3, Lauren 1, Kim 1, Amaris Fernandez 1. What are you seeing from the team? What did you see from them? Because it seemed like they were hitting on all cylinders.
Yeah, so kind of already talked about it. Bishop's kind of an up and coming team. There's a lot of girls that play at Bishop that have never played before, and so their coach is doing a good job building a program. So when we talked about them and practice, I don't want to sound arrogant, but we were like, okay, so this is going to be the game that we work on things. We were able to kind of make it a little bit one-sided the first time we played them, and leading up to the game, I was like, we don't want to get arrogant. We don't want to come in cocky, because things can change. You can have a really bad game, and then all of a sudden you're behind 2 or 3 goals trying to scratch to catch back up. And so, we kind of went in going, if we're able to do what we do or what we did the first time, now we work on the things that we need to work on for Ingleside. And, I think we were up 8-0 at halftime. And so I basically told them, like, okay, the next 20 minutes, we're going to play, looking to get goals off of crosses, looking to do the things that we're going to have to do to Ingleside to be successful. And we got a couple of seniors, Kimberly Guzman, who she's done a great job playing defender for us. I always try to get a senior, if I can, a goal to kind of send them on their way, at least try to get everybody to have a goal. I think I've got one senior left to get on that list, and I think I've got them all. But I wanted to give Kimberly a chance, and I love Kimmy to death, and she probably had about 8 or 9 chances and finally found that one to squeak in. And I don't think anybody was more excited than I was. And you have Kimmy running around the field just so excited that she gets to have that goal in her senior year. But we have the ability to get all these assists, and we have these ability to kind of move the ball the way we want to down the field. We just have to carry it over when we're starting to play like top 10 teams like Cow Allen and London. And that's what we really wanted to work on with Bishop.
Yeah, that was great. It was great to see when you send me the stats. I'm looking at these assists, and I'm like, man, that's good. So you're right. There's a lot of things that we are doing good. It's a great win, and like I said, we'll have the game in Ingleside tomorrow. So we invite everyone out again. The weather will be a little cold and raining, but if you still want to get out there and support the Lady Pirates, definitely we invite all to come out, as it's going to be a big district game for the Lady Pirates. Coach, before I let you go, I did want to get your thoughts on Lauren Holden. We've had her on this podcast, and you talked about her. She, to me, is someone that is getting better every practice, every game. She's impacting. We heard what Ari and Kandis had to say about her. They see the skills that she had. They push her to be better because they can see. Obviously, she's impacting the season this year. We'll definitely need her when we lose these seniors. She can be a big part. I'm assuming she will continue to be a big part in what we do next year and going into her senior year. But what have you seen in the last couple of games? Obviously, you saw something in her. We bring her up, but she's gotten better, I think, every practice, every game. What have you seen as far as her growth in the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, we when we had her on the podcast, it was a week ago, 2 weeks ago, whenever it was. We had talked about the fact that Lauren last year was that bubble kid. She didn't get a whole lot of playing time on varsity. She would go in here and there, but I mean, she would demolish that JV. It's just trying to find that right time and that right spot to get her on varsity was always going to be a little bit of a struggle. So she went to that JV team, and she got a lot of playing time in that JV team last year and got a lot of development. And then this summer, she worked her butt off. I know her and a couple of girls, they were going to the park like every day to try to work on skills. Lauren's the kind of kid that like she'll go and spend an hour or two just working on her dribbling or shooting or something like that. We get to practices, and she's one of the most coachable kids on the field. Extremely respectful. It's always yes sir, no sir. I mean, even today we're working on the defense, and we're working on trying to get the defense better and trying to get the defense prepared for, how Ingleside plays. And part of that was, all right, Lauren, you're going to essentially be the Ingleside midfield, and you're going to have to play like the Ingleside midfield. And so as she's essentially playing, in a position that Ingleside would play in, she's still one of those things where I can go, hey, this is what you should have done here. I know it's not exactly the same as how we play, but this is how you could have done that. And it's always okay. And then like, she's going to give it her full, ability to try to do exactly what you say. And she's going to be that kid that next year that, is going to play in the midfield. She might end up getting moved out to a wing. She might get moved up to a forward. And she's such a good and coachable kid that no matter where she plays on the field, she's going to give it her all, and she's going to be extremely coachable, and it's a great thing to have on the team, especially since she's a sophomore.
Yeah, that's, I think, what's exciting, Coach, is that she's still growing, young, but definitely impacting the season. I mean, she's coming to her own, and I think you're seeing the upper classmen, really seeing some talent in her and saying, hey, we're going to continue to push her, which is what I think needs to happen. to continue to get for her to hit her potential. But it's always nice as a sophomore to know, as we talk about the future of the Lady Pirates, our soccer program. She's one that you're hearing her name here on the podcast. And I think you're going to continue to hear it through the rest of the season and in the coming years. So definitely having some of these players like Lauren and Candice coming back next year is going to be really helpful. Carly, as we're going to lose some of these seniors. So definitely, coach, as I've always said, you're doing a great job. This program is in good hands. We lose seniors all the time, but you've seen underclassmen. We're talking about him, the impact that they're having this season as they'll continue to grow. And then when they become seniors, we'll be talking about some other future young Lady Pirates who will be impacting the season. So it's always a lot of fun to talk about our seniors, obviously, because this is their last year, but also getting to know our younger players and seeing exactly what and how they're impacting the season. Again, JV's tomorrow game has been canceled. There'll be one game only tomorrow in Ingleside. That's the varsity, and game time starts at 6. So we'll try to get them in and out of there before it gets later and colder. Coach, thank you very much for coming out. Before we let you go, I do want to talk about the district standing. So I saw that we're in third place, but with the loss to Beeville, where does that sit us currently right now?
So that puts us tied for third place with Beeville. They'll beat us on the head-to-head because of the goal differential. But it gives us a 3-point cushion in front of the next team. That's why, we really emphasized it with the girls this week. Like, we don't have any wiggle room. Like, if we drop a game, there's a chance that by losing one game, you're doing like what we did last year, where we're waiting till the very last game, waiting for a text message to find out whether we made it or not. But we have the potential to secure that spot within the next 3 or 4 games and make it extremely difficult for anybody to try to move us down on the placement. But as it sits right now, we're third place, with Beeville having a little bit of advantage over us.
Coach, have they already played Linden the second go around in Cal Allen as well? Or
So they played. No, they haven't. They've only played. I want to say they played Kingsville. I could be wrong, but no, they haven't. They haven't played London or Cal Allen yet. So they're kind of in that same boat as us. Just trying to make sure they don't drop games, just like we're trying to do the same.
yeah, it's great, and this is what makes this district good. Like we talked at the beginning, you got to come out and play. You can lose to these teams. There's some good teams here. There's some teams really, really high, and there's some teams, if you don't come play your game, you can get beat. So still a lot, like I said, a lot of soccer left for the Lady Pirates. The next 4 games will be on the road, and then they'll finish the final 2 games of the regular season at home. So good luck, coach. Tomorrow, safe travels up there and back. And like I said, I hope when we're coming back and you're sending me the stats, I hope it's a W and that we got the win. That'd be great. But I think both teams are going to battle. I know Ingleside's going to be ready. We had a podcast with them on Monday. Coach Lynch has those girls ready to go. They're hungry. I know you have the girls, they're hungry to the win. So that makes it for a very good game. They're going to battle it out tomorrow in the rain and in the cold. Ingleside and Rockport Fulton. Doesn't get any better than that. Coach, thank you very much. And I'll give you the final word. Anything you want to add?
Yeah, I just want to thank the community for all the support they've given our Lady Pirates soccer team. You and I talked last week about the bake sale fundraiser that we were having, and the community came out and really supported us. I think the grand total was almost $1,500 on a bake sale, which, I mean, that's incredible. I in my wildest dreams, I would have never thought that we would make that much, but the community has come out in full steam, just trying to do everything they can for our girls. And the girls and I are extremely appreciative of the support that we're getting, not only in the bake sale but in the stands and the compliments that we're getting from the community. This is a great place to be, and I'm excited to be here in Rockport. And like I've told you 100 times, I'll stay here as long as they treat me right and keep me here.
Well, we want to keep you here. I had the baseball coaches, and I haven't heard anything negative, coach. Honestly, I'm around town talking to a lot of people. I have not heard one thing that anyone's come up to me and said anything negative that I've heard about the coach. It's always been positive. Kids are buying into what the coaches, and not just in soccer, in softball and football and basketball. I mean, I'm watching the kids; they're having a lot of fun. we're getting into the playoffs, and that's a good thing. And this is just the first year of hopefully what we're going to continue to build in the years to come. So I'm glad the bake sale went good. And coach, like I was telling the girls, this is your platform. This is what we created for the Lady Pirates. I'm just a host that hosted it, but this is yours. It's not mine. So I told the girls anytime they want to come on, if there's something you want to get out to the community, even if you can't wait till Thursday, shoot me a text or a message and say, look, can we get this on? If I can get out there, or if I can just put you on quickly over the weekend, anything you need to get out, we'll do that to get the message out, to continue to build and get the community's help in whatever it is that we need to get out there for our programs. So definitely, hopefully, it'll continue to get the support will continue to grow. And yeah, use this platform whenever you need it, coach. It's here for you guys.
Yes, sir. We appreciate it.
Absolutely, coach. Thank you once again for coming out. Safe travels and good luck tomorrow against Ingleside.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Okay.